What's up, y'all? It's Bethany and Kristen, and we are going to be answering your guy questions today. Actually, Kristen and Bethany from 2016?
2016, baby.
2016. They're going to be answering your guy questions about dating, bad relationships, and guy friends. So if you want 2016 Kristen and Bethany, here they are. But also 2024 Kristen and Bethany are going to be giving our thoughts. I mean, I was totally single. Yeah, I was totally single.
Oh, 100%.
And so it's going to be hilarious because I am now married, 2 kids later. You've been married for a lot longer. All kids later.
Yeah.
And
just before kids, but not before Zach.
So this is gonna be interesting.
This is so like, what kind of advice did we give back then? I think we gave some good advice, but probably some bad advice too. I don't know. We have not watched this video since we recorded it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So going back and reacting to ourselves, I mean, come on, let's be honest. There are hundreds of millions of views for reaction videos done by other people with Girldefined's videos. And so we thought, why not? You've noticed we've already done a few reactions. Like, let's go back and react to ourselves and look at ourselves with these fresh eyes, you know, almost a decade later, and just on camera talk about openly, like, do we like what we said? Would we say it differently?
Yes.
Do we agree with our younger selves? Was that good advice? Was that bad advice? How was our tone? I mean, and even just laughing at ourselves a little bit with our adorable little sweet set that we had back then. So cute.
We've simplified now. Like, we have no set. We literally come over. We're still at Kristen's house. That's one thing that has not changed. You live in the same house. We're still filming, but our lives are so busy. And so we literally just are like, okay, we just have to do it in your living room. So we've simplified. We have no set. We go nowhere. We just come here and we're like, let's film. But what's interesting is anytime we made videos back in the day about guys dating, people had a heyday. They loved like to react to those, which is so funny to me. I'm like, at this point in time, we were talking to young teen Christian girls. Now our audience has changed. A lot of you have grown up with us, and the majority of our followers are 25 to 35. The majority, like all our whatever data analytics, whatever, like that shows who our followers are. That's the majority. And so sometimes there's confusion, like, why are you talking about such deep topics? You have teen girls following you. And I'm like, honey, that was like 10 years ago, you know, like we've changed and we've grown up. So this is a shift from who Girldefined is today, even our who we talk to. So that's kind of interesting.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, the title of this video, like you said, is Answering Your Guy Questions, Dating, Bad Relationships, and Guy Friends vlog. And it's less than 6 minutes. Let's jump in. Hey girls, it's Kristen and Bethany here with Girldefined Ministries, and in this video, we are going to be answering your guy questions. So
I'm literally
already stopping
because it's like,
look at your face.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie wear. It's like we've got this bright pink lipstick. Look at that mascara. Look at the eyeliner. We've got our bright blonde hair. I mean, okay, I can see why people want to make fun of us.
Because we look like Barbies.
But first of all, we can't help that we are like naturally blondes. Yes, we might highlight our hair there, but we kind of like did our makeup in a way that is, you know.
Okay, I looking back though, I know what we were trying to do. We were trying to be very cheery and like bright and fun because yes, we were making videos for teen girls. What teen girl wants to watch a video where, you know, you look like you're tired and dragging and
that's
like,
true.
You know, we were trying to like, oh, look, the fun braid, the curly hair, the little like the bright pink lips. Yeah. But I can see what you're saying. Like, yes.
Other people making.
Yes, when you have 40-year-old men back then who are like, let's make a reaction to this.
Okay, it's like there was like 30-year-old men. Okay, well, we were in our 20s and they were. We've been over this. She gets mad. I don't care. I want to collab. It's particularly with the young men who are making videos because I'm like, we've all grown up. Like, we've all grown up at this point. We're married. We all have kids. Like, let's chat. Let's hash. But it's so funny because every time we talk about reaction videos, you're always like, I'm always like,
these mean men. They were mean.
Everyone's just trying to get their views. That is 100% what I have decided. Everyone wants their views, and they are using any means possible. I don't think it's like a personal beef. I even think people who make really mean videos about us, I don't think it's a personal beef. I think it's literally just trying to get views.
For sure, but they're still mean. They're still mean.
We're going to be answering several questions that some of you have actually emailed us. And instead of writing a blog on it, we're actually going to answer them live here on today's vlog. Okay, so the first question that I want to answer is one that we get asked all the time through comments and through emails. And that question is, what is a good age to start dating? And now that really is a great question.
Really good
because,
question.
Guys,
Okay, that's so funny. I wasn't expecting that.
I thought it was going to be something really deep.
But it's like we're answering teen girl questions.
That is a question that teen girls have, though.
That's funny, though. I wasn't expecting that.
People think, oh, this video, what is so cheesy. But I mean, really, when you were young.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't you wonder,
Yes.
like, when can I have a boyfriend? When can I get into a relationship? You see your friends and you're, you know, like, when is it going to be my turn?
Yeah.
100% still relevant.
Yes,
Teen girls still. Do they still ask these questions?
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, and think like 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old. I mean, these are like, this is so much of what, you know, you're just like becoming, you know, aware of this stuff in a lot of ways. And you're like, oh, when, you know, you're just interested in that romance. It's like, we're talking to young girls in this video, like girls who are just on the, you know, asking these questions. And so of course it seems silly, but if you're a 13-year-old girl, this isn't silly. This is serious.
You know what is silly though?
What? No.
Your eyebrows.
Oh my gosh, what?
Okay. They look really thick. And you know what? People for years would make fun of my eyebrows.
Yours?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew that.
Oh, you never did?
No.
I saw so many comments like, whoa, figure out your eyebrows. And maybe I still need to figure them out.
I never knew that. Well, I can see a lot of other problems with my makeup than my eyebrows. So
your eyebrows, they actually look good. They look very defined. I must be thinking more of mine. Mine actually don't look too thick, but I think I would get really excited about when I first learned how to do like the eyebrow darkener, and I would do so much. And I think and I looked like a white face with floating eyebrows. Like, come on, girl. Figure out your makeup.
I don't like to wear as much makeup these days. Oftentimes I will oftentimes when we film videos, I am much more pale than Kristen, like on any day of the week. And so
except you've been going to the pool.
I've been trying to go to the pool a lot.
Really
We've been swimming a lot, but we had this hilarious thing where we would film videos and I looked literally so pale and ghostly.
I know.
And so I would have to like literally put on her bronzer and stuff because it was kind of distracting how pale I was compared to you. And I do know that when we would film videos, if we didn't have much makeup on because we're so pale and we literally like you cannot see our features without makeup.
Like our eyelashes, our eyebrows.
We would put more on for the videos.
Yeah.
We would put more on. And so we would like kind of load up the eyeliner, load on the lipstick, load on the brows because we were trying to like, it's, you know, like camera makeup. We were trying to be like, whatever
Studio
that is.
ready. Like camera ready.
And now it's like, wait, do you even have lipstick on? Like, no,
lipstick.
like we're just kind of like.
No eyeliner. Okay, sorry. That was kind of mean about your eyebrows, but I'm glad that we've come a long way with our makeup.
I'm looking at me though, like I got bigger problems with the look than the eyebrows.
If you're listening to this, you've got to go watch this on YouTube to understand what in the world we're talking about. It'll be worth it. Just go to youtube.com/girldefined and watch this video. Oh my goodness.
Romance, that's something that's on our mind. And we want to know, when should I start seriously thinking about a relationship? I remember that I started asking this question around the age of 14 or 15. And I remember thinking, when is a good age? Or when should I start seriously considering a relationship? And that led me on a journey. And that journey kind of helped me discover that I was honestly asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, what is a good age to start dating? I started asking, what is the purpose of a romantic relationship? Getting to the bigger picture here. And I discovered,
okay, the way you said that. I went on a journey and discovered I was asking the wrong question.
This is very genuine, though.
It is very genuine. That's another thing, is because of the way we look, like two Barbies, people thought that everything we said was just like fake.
Like plastic fake, you're heartless.
Yes, but we did look a little bit like Barbies, but our hearts were genuine. I know our hearts back then because we were ourselves. And so we're the only ones who can truly speak to how genuine we were. And we really were trying to encourage and help younger sisters, younger Christian women in a lot of the things that we wrestled with as teen girls. That we felt like, wow, we wish we had kind of bigger sister figures who could come alongside of us and just have these honest, down-to-earth conversations. So we were doing what we wished we had when we were teen girls. That's the type of video content that we were making.
Totally. I mean, I do think I lie, though. I said, I started asking this question around like 14, 15. Like,
well, you had probably crushes when you were younger. Which were you like at 10? Like, I want to be in a relationship.
No. Well, no, but I don't think I wanted to start dating when I was like 13 or 14. But I definitely, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I think I did like wonder deeper down. Maybe because you were older.
True.
So I think when you have an older sister, you do start asking earlier. So I think I mean, these days with all the social media, girls are asking questions way younger. I don't think it's 14 and 15.
I'm so glad you went on that journey, though.
I know.
That journey really helped you.
That in reading scripture and in reading other books by great Christian authors that really the purpose of a romantic relationship should lead to discover if that is the one God has for you. So for me, I discovered that I don't want to enter a romantic relationship until I'm ready to consider marriage. And for me, I didn't actually get into a relationship until I was 19, which isn't like the perfect age to get into a relationship. But for me, that was a good age. I felt like, I'm seriously ready to consider marriage. And so when a guy came along, I thought, you know what? I'm ready to consider if he's the one that God would have for me. And so for each one of you, a good question to ask is, what is the purpose of a romantic relationship?
Okay,
that's good advice.
I still think that's good advice.
That's good advice.
You're so sweet and how you're presenting it with your journey and like everything, but you're trying to be relatable. Like people might think, oh my goodness, this is the cheesiest thing ever. You're trying to be relatable. Like I struggled. I wanted to be in a relationship. I was asking the wrong question. The better question is, what is the purpose? And that's actually a really good question.
Totally.
Because so many times young women do just jump into relationships because everyone's dating. You want to have a boyfriend. It's more of an identity thing. You just want to have that companion, whatever. You want to have fun. And you don't even stop to think about the deeper question of what is the purpose of this? This isn't just random. Like there should be a purpose for romance.
Totally. Yeah.
You were onto something.
I think it's important. Like I was like at 19 is when I had my first serious relationship. I do think that could be at like 17 for someone.
Yeah.
I think that it can be a different age. I remember like from until 18, I was like so like full on playing sports. And so I really didn't have literally like any time for anything else. And those memories, like my sports days for me, basketball days are such a good memory. And I just had so much fun, and I wouldn't like, I'm not benefiting from my basketball skills these days, but it was such like, I just made so many good friendships and just like all the hard work, all of the, so I wouldn't change that. But I know, I know people who got married at 19 or got married at 18. And so I think that there isn't a specific age, but it is considering like, what are you, especially in those like formative years, like what are you dedicating your time to? And I just know like for me, I didn't really have time to consider like a serious relationship. And I think it was really cool. Like I had a lot of good guy friendships and girl friendships, and we would like hang out in groups. And so we weren't really like, especially in our family, I think because we didn't date until we were older, sometimes it's like, oh, were you not even allowed to like have a guy crush? Like our family was actually very positive, pro like crushes and pro like
just like
pro marriage,
like, being romantically attracted to a guy. Like that's a God-given thing. That's part of his design, but is the timing right to act on it was another question.
And so I know that's not the case for all like whatever families, but I do appreciate the ability to just enjoy those high school years, the ability to just have enjoyed and really invest in like church programs I was a part of, or just in learning, being with friends without, at that point, the commitment of like a serious relationship. And so for me, I still look back and I'm like, hey, I liked that. I liked the way the story unfolded because of my mindset of not wanting to date until I was actually at a point where not that I would have to marry the first person I dated. Obviously I didn't, but that I was at least mature enough to consider that.
Right. And to be like more intentional. And we actually wrote a book shortly after this video. So Girldefined, our first book came out in 2016, which is when we recorded this. But was it 2017 or 2018 when our next book,
so fast,
Love Defined, God's Radical, no, that's oh, come on, there's so many. Embracing God's vision for lasting love and satisfying relationships. That came out maybe a year or two, but we started writing it, I think, shortly after this. We were like launching Girldefined. We started writing Love Defined. And that is a book for all of our single sisters who are considering like any of this, like these type of questions about dating, romance, guys.
It's such a good book.
It's for like anyone from teen girls could benefit to like 20-somethings, 30-somethings.
Such a good book.
If you are unmarried. And even if you're married, like we unpack God's incredible design like for marriage and just the gospel picture that points to, and how to navigate that biblically, all that kind of stuff. And zooming forward to this year, we have a brand new book that we just wrote, brand new book called Made to Be She, Reclaiming God's Plan for Fearless Femininity. A quick plug, because we also unpack in a new way that we've never done before in any of our other books, God's plan for intimacy and marriage.
Oh,
remember that? You actually wrote that whole chapter. So if you're like, I want an even deeper dive, not just on like dating and romance, but like, what is my purpose as a woman? I grew up in this kind of family, conservative or a non-Christian family, and I know that I don't have a clear understanding of why God created me to be a woman, what my purpose is, how to think about the future, how to think about things like marriage or even motherhood, how to plan well now, how to not land in ditches of legalism, which we talk a lot about, land in ditches of feminist womanhood that is very much secular and not rooted rooted in the word. How do we get back to a gospel-centered, gospel-redeemed womanhood, which is what we unpack in a fresh way that we've never done before, sharing very raw and vulnerably stories of our own lives, where we got it right, where we got it wrong, just getting back to what God's word actually says and what it doesn't say. I know. I'm going to do a little plant hand.
You know what's funny? So if you want to know the behind the scenes of this, it's really interesting because I know, come on.
The scenes of this book?
This book, yeah. Made to be She. If you want to know behind the scenes, it's interesting. Kristen and I, we basically we map everything out, everything that we want to do. We unpack it all. And then we basically divide up the chapters according to like which one we feel most passionate about.
Yeah.
And then after we write the first draft, y'all, we literally, this is just like, we take it and we literally ask like our pastors, we ask other women who are in ministry, we literally ask them to read the book and go through and give us like tons of critical feedback, like what's not biblical, what's, and they come in and they're like, very honest, and it's super hard because like we sometimes have to rewrite whole chapters, but the whole point
it's very helpful.
The whole story to compliment me. I'm taking all this time because I need a compliment. Because the intimacy chapter, we have like a whole chapter on like sex and intimacy in this book, which totally makes sense when you're reading it. But it's one of the chapters that like got the least amount of feedback. When people would read through it, they were like,
the least amount of like correction.
Yeah, they were like, this is so good, unpacks so well.
It got a lot of feedback, just not a lot of correction.
A lot of really good positive feedback. So if you are interested in that topic, Made to be She, when you get to that chapter, remember Bethany spent a lot of time writing it. She's very proud.
Send her an email. She needs your emails.
I need the validation.
Tell her she did awesome. Okay, back to dating. That was just one of the questions.
That was one of the questions. We've got to get through this.
And that will really help you gain the bigger picture and answer that question and really help you live with intention and purpose. So the next question that we want to answer is another popular question that we get from girls through email and when we speak at conferences, and it's this. Is it better to be single than in a struggling relationship? And I'm guessing some of you have that question as well.
Yeah.
And the reason girls are asking this question, and actually I remember asking this question too when I was younger, and it's that you see your friends, you're not in a relationship, you're single, but you see your girlfriends in relationships and girls that you know, and some of their relationships don't look so good. They're kind of struggling, but you're thinking, I really don't want to be single, so maybe it's better to be in a struggling relationship with a guy than just to be totally single. You don't want your single status, so you think, well, maybe I should just settle and get in a relationship because that's going to be better. Girls, I have 2 words for you. Don't settle. It is totally not worth it. It looks like it would be better to be in a relationship, but honestly, being in a struggling relationship will put so much weight on your life, add so much complication and so much struggle, and honestly, it will completely distract you from serving God during your single years. So my answer to that is no. It is not better to be in a relationship, to be in a struggling relationship than to be single. Wait on God's timing. Wait on God's best for your life. He will bring the right guy around when it's His perfect timing in your life. So trust that. Don't force it. Don't push it. And just thrive as a single girl and honor God and serve Him to your fullest ability. Just like Bethany's doing. She's an awesome example of serving God and thriving as a single girl.
Okay. Oh, that's so great.
That is really true though, right? Like I have to, in my brain,
this is so great.
I've been married now for 13 years and we have 3 kids. And so to
God.
even like
I know.
get my mindset back
It's
in
hard.
that place of how I used to think
Yes.
when I was younger and single, it's like, okay, whoa, what was I thinking? But yeah, I remember like way back in the day, you do have those thoughts of like, whether you're a teen 20s, 30s, and you want to be married and you're not, to think like, okay, I could just, especially these days, I could just get online. I could just swipe right. I could get on that app and I could instantly have a guy in my life.
Yeah.
Like that would be such an easy fix. And that is such a temptation. And many of us as women fall prey to that and just go for it because we think it would be better to just have a guy than to not have a guy at all. And so we make really stupid decisions and get with guys that we should not be with because we're just trying to fix something rather than waiting on God's timing for Him bringing around a guy who's actually like a good option, like a godly man, to like one that you should be in a relationship with. So, I mean, it's the way we present it is just like we're just so cute. Like, but it's still really like it holds true to today.
I mean, I think the best thing you can do, we have a sister that's still single and we'll talk about it. And I'm like, the best thing you can do to like just basically like prepare for marriage if that's God's plan for you, but just like really prepare to have a much better life, just is to like work on your own personal growth. Like work on your relationship with Christ. Work on yourself, girl. I hate this saying, like do the work. It's like, but it's true though in a lot of ways, because a relationship, it's not like, oh, you work on the relationship. What is the relationship? It's two people. And so if you are growing and becoming more mature, becoming more secure in your identity in Christ, not needing that validation like Bethany needed a minute ago. If you don't need that, you know, like, okay, who has God designed me to be? What is my purpose as a woman? It's really going to help you make a better decision of the type of guy that you choose to date. And I really do think that, you know, you attract someone of a similar maturity level, you know? And so with this younger sister, we've been talking about this, like, don't worry about becoming like all, you know, like attracting a guy, like work on growing, work on maturing, like spend your time doing that. And I think like in God's good timing and all of that, I think that you're going to end up with someone at a similar like spiritual level, maturity level. And that's going to be a lot better than just like pining away. And it's like, girl, you need to work on yourself. Like, oh, you need to mature a little, you know, because like clearly people get married. We've talked about in previous videos, like people are getting like divorces just rampant, you know? And I think that if we could really work on our own personal growth and maturity, I think that would help a lot.
Yeah. Which you did when I pointed you
journey.
Out. You went on the journey, but you were single much longer than you thought you were going to be. And you share all about this in Love-Defined and on like a million videos in the past. But you really did, pursuing the Lord wholeheartedly, you did learn to thrive in your singleness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which you have a couple chapters, I'll plug you again, in Love-Defined that you wrote. You spent a lot of time emailing about those
This is
two.
like the Bethany support video. I'm actually having a great day.
But you learned to thrive. My point is, you learned to thrive as a single woman. You didn't settle.
Yeah.
And you're so grateful for that. Okay.
Yes.
We gotta keep rolling.
The final question that we're going to answer in this video is another really popular one, and one that I, as a single girl, have asked many times. And that I asked as a single girl. Yeah, really popular one is, how can I be just friends with a guy? Emphasis on the just friends with a guy. And now I'm still single. Kristen's married, so she has her best friend Zach, but I'm still single. So this is a question that is really relevant to me today. Like, how can I be friends with guys but not anything more? How can I have guy friends? What does that look like? How can I be just friends with a guy? It is a big, hard question. But what I've discovered, that it is possible to be friends with guys, but there are some precautions and things that we as single girls need to take in order to keep it at a just friends status. Some of the things that the two of us have done over the years is we've really purposed to keep our friendships with guys more group oriented. And the reason that we do that is because when you become best friends with a guy, or you choose to make a guy your best friend, it really starts to honestly involve the emotions, and eventually, in our experience, almost always someone has been hurt through the relationship because one person starts being interested I know in the other, or you become interested and it's not reciprocated, and it just brings in a lot of emotional hurt and pain and heartache, and it's really not honoring towards the other person. Because if you love this person, that guy, as a brother in Christ, you want to point him to Jesus and honor him and push him forward in his spiritual life, and being his best friend a lot of times isn't the best thing. So for me, that's one of the biggest things that I've tried to do, is really try to keep my friendships with guys more group oriented, through texting online, really try to make that a purpose to try as much as possible to keep it group oriented. And that's really helped a lot. We know you.
Why is this video so funny to me?
We're saying things that are actually true. Like, I would still encourage younger
It's just
women.
such a lifetime ago. I don't know why.
Well, what are your thoughts on what you shared?
Okay, so I think it's different ages. Like, I think that especially when you're in those early teen years, I think that it's such a distraction. I just think for life's sake, like, it's not because you're afraid, it's not because it's bad. Like, I want there to be that celebration of like God's amazing design, attraction, all of that, to be like, yes, God made us that way, like, amazing, woohoo, you know. But it's like I said, I loved my high school days. I loved just like playing sports, all my friends, like, that was so much fun. And I'm glad I didn't have this, like, these ongoing like deep friendships with guys that kind of pulled me away from life. And so I think in the younger teen years, that can be super helpful. I think as you get older, especially the age I was in this video, I think you still want to be careful, but it's like, especially if you are interested in a guy, I think it's great to put yourself out there. I think it's great to kind of like, and even in some cases, like initiating a little bit, putting yourself, like making yourself available. Because I remember with Dave, I was interested. And I was really willing to like act in a way with him that I wasn't with other guys because I wanted my actions to be a genuine reflection of what I really felt. So if I was over there flirting with some guy and leading him on and I'm like, I'm never going to date you, it's like, that's not kind in my opinion. It's basically acting in a way that isn't true. It's lying, I think. And so with Dave, though, I was very friendly and flirty and putting myself out there, and we would even text sometimes. Like, he was more like a group texter, though. I couldn't always get him to text one-on-one.
He would always go back to the group.
Yeah, it's like
respond in the group. Bethany,
like he wouldn't always. But I remember thinking like, oh, my actions back up what I really think. So if he would ask me out, I would say yes, and I would be excited. And so I think that's important to just ask yourself, am I being honest with my actions in the way that I'm treating this guy? So I think guy friendships can be okay, but I think we swung to the ditch of kind of being more flirty, kind of being more like leading on and being dishonest with our actions. So I think that's like the honesty of it is really important in my opinion.
Well, and I think taking it a step further, what we were getting after here is like, if you're not romantically interested in a guy, right? Let's say you're like 18, 19, 20 and you're not, but you have this deep, almost like a girlfriend where it's like you're confiding in him, you're calling each other, you're going out one-on-one just as friends. It's nothing more than friends, but you have zero romantic interest and you know you never will. That is where I think it can get a little hairy. And that is where one or the other side will inevitably end up becoming attracted. Not will, sorry.
Could.
Oftentimes does. Oftentimes, okay, come on, I've seen this again and again. I've experienced this myself. You had a guy friend, I remember, where y'all got too close and it's like someone got hurt. It's true. If one party is not, and you know you never will be, there can be that danger of getting so close and so emotionally connected. And then let's say you do start dating someone, what do you do with this other guy? Like it becomes inappropriate to spend the quality, intimate,
not beneficial,
close, time with this other guy when you're like, I'm actually romantically involved with this guy. Oh, now you get married and then it just gets even more complicated. So I think a general rule of thumb, it's like, if you're not romantically interested at all and you know you never will be, like just keep that guy friend, like use your girlfriends for those close, intimate, emotional relationships. And then keep the guy friends like a little bit outside.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of married couples even struggle to have really solid relationships of the same gender. So I know women who are like married and they could really benefit from having other good, solid, godly married women in their life. Yeah. And same for the guys. But it's like we almost don't even know how to have deep friendships, and we don't even know
in general.
Yeah, like in general. But I think the benefit when you do get in a relationship or you do get married to have those deep friendships of the same gender are so crucial and so helpful and needed. And so I think working on developing those as a young person is so important, and I think truly going to be so much more beneficial in your life than like these kind of random friendships with guys.
So it's not to be so much more long term.
Nothing to be afraid of, but just more like what is most beneficial in my life and where do I want to go? What is going to serve me best? What is going to serve them best? So it's not like a fear thing or being afraid of. It's just more like, I only got so much time, and what's going to be the best use of my time?
Yes, and the best investment for now and the future.
Yeah. Probably have a lot more guy questions because as a single girl, I have a lot of my own. So if you want to comment in the section below with your guy questions, and we'll do our best to answer them, whether in comments or even through another video. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, and we post a new video every Wednesday. So if you want to see more from us, just subscribe to our channel. And also, we couldn't expand on these questions as much as we would have liked to, but we've actually written a blog post that goes with each one of these questions that expands and gives more answers and more details than each one of the questions we tackled today. So we put those down below in the description. So if you want to read more on each of these questions, you can click on those blog posts below. Answering your guy questions.
Bloopers.
Okay, yeah. I got like a flyaway. Somehow you had to do two. I love when that happens. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's weird. What? Get mad. I'm not mad. Yeah, that was a million times better. 3rd time's the charm. Like, I'm getting boiling. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Thanks so much. Okay. I almost get like a twisted tongue.
Oh my.
The bloopers are the best.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the real raw. We would get mad at each other sometimes. Yeah. To be honest.
Now I'm like, I want all the time to talk. I love talking.
We love chatting. Okay, you guys, if you like this reaction video, as we said in the video itself, leave us a comment down below. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Let us know if there are other reaction videos you want us to do. We were like, I saw tons of other people reacting to this Girldefined video. I wonder what they think of it now. Let us know. Comment. Send us an email. Text us. Whatever.
And we will see you in the next video.